Hey guys, Ninja Zane here, and today I wanted to take a look a little bit more into the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight game and go over a little bit of my thoughts and the FAQ and website. So let's go ahead and look at the website here. This is the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight frequently asked questions. So this is directly from Lego Games support.wb games. So talking about all of the Lego games and their support guide. So I'm curious to see what they have here. And the first thing it says, what is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? It says Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is a brand new open world action adventure game that invites players to embark on Bruce Wayne's epic journey to become the hero of Gotham City, inspired by decades of Batman films, television, comic books, and games, and jam-packed with Batman nostalgia, DC lore, and TT Games' signature brand of fun-filled Lego humor. So it seems like it's looking at the journey of Batman and Bruce Wayne to become what Batman is and what Batman's legacy is, which is why it's called the Legacy of the Dark Knight. It says that Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is developed by TT Games, creators of the Lego Games franchise, which has sold over 200 million units worldwide. That's a lot of units, including the last game, which was the Skywalker Saga. I played that a lot when it was coming out. I think I put about 80 hours of gameplay into it. I also have a series on the channel where I was playing through the Mumble Mode playthrough. I never ended up finishing that, but that'll be finished at some point in the future. It says that WB is publishing it. What platforms? It's going to be on PS5, Series X, Switch 2, and PC. I will probably pick it up on Series X. If it ever goes on sale for like super duper cheap, maybe I'll get it on the Switch 2 as well to see how it runs there. But I'm sure that Series X will be my preferred platform because that's where I have most of my Lego games. And how much will it cost? That does not give me anything. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is not available for pre-order yet, but the game can be wish listed. But yes, that does not tell you how much it would cost. So they don't want to give us that yet. It looks like maybe they're still developing it and they're not too sure what they want to make the cost yet. It'll probably be $70 in my opinion, though. I don't think it'll be an $80 game, but I do think it might be a $70 game. What characters? Now, this is one of the biggest concerns that I've seen a lot of people having online. It's one of my concerns as well, just because it is the most significant change since it is a Lego game. And Lego games, one of the biggest things is the amount of characters that you can collect and all the different abilities that they have. I'm a huge fan of Lego Dimensions, who had all the different characters with the different abilities. So reading this is not my favorite thing to read. But we'll take a look anyway at this. It says Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will feature 7 playable characters, including Batman, Jim Gordon, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Talia al Ghul. Each character is equipped with unique skills, combos, and gadgets like Batman's Batclaw, Jim Gordon's foam sprayer, Robin's line launcher, and Catwoman's whip. So it seems like those 7 characters do have some different abilities. But I do know that there are going to be certain costumes that they have. There are, very similar to maybe unlocking certain characters. Those costumes might help. Maybe Batman will have a spacesuit like he had in Gotham 3 or Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. So maybe we'll have a spacesuit where he can fly. I'd love to see that because it doesn't sound like this is going to be a DC superheroes game at all. There's not going to be Superman. You're not going to be able to play with Green Lantern or Wonder Woman. So no flying characters in the game. That's why I was mentioning there. Love to see some flying characters around Gotham City because I loved it so much. And I love playing that a lot in Batman 2. So I would love to see that in this game since it is open world. But we might have some alternatives. We'll read through the FAQ and see if there's anything else on there. It says that which villains will players not be able to play as, face in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And that says players will face off against Gotham City's most notorious DC supervillains, including the Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Bane, and more. So doesn't really tell us who. It just says there's a Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Rachel Gold, Bane. I'm sure that'll be plenty more characters. Sure Harley Quinn will show up, and maybe Lex. I don't know about Lex Luthor. I'd love to see Lex Luthor, but that's more of a Superman villain, so I don't think that we'll end up seeing him, even though he was very prevalent in like Gotham, or keep saying Gotham. It's a Lego Batman. I was very much a big fan of his part in Lego Batman 2, and the kind of alliance that Joker and him made. So I'd love to see Lex Luthor in this game, but I doubt that we're going to see him unless there's maybe like a Superman DLC based on the new Superman movie. That would be another way that I could see Superman making it in, because that movie was pretty well received from what I heard. I didn't know how much money it made in the box office, but it did do fairly well and reviews well. I thought it was a good movie personally. And does Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight have an original story? That is one of the biggest questions that I have. So let's read what this says. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight invites players to embark on Bruce Wayne's epic journey to become the hero of Gotham City, featuring a story-led campaign from origin to legend, bringing together iconic moments from the Caped Crusader's 86-year history in film, television, comic books, and games, and jam-packed with Batman nostalgia, DC lore, and TT Games' signature brand of the fun-filled LEGO humor. From there, it seems like it's going to be a unique story. What they're going to do here, and that's just me interpreting this, I'm thinking that this is going to be an original story with lots of the highlights from those movies, and showing maybe some early era scenes from a movie where he was still developing as Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy I heard was in this, and the Batman from 2022 is going to be in this, and maybe it'll include some of the DCEU. I know that WB is really trying to nix that right now, or maybe that's just James Gunn specifically, but I know that they're really trying to nix the DCEU. I'd love to see some stuff from the DCEU. I thought there were some good movies from it. I am not as much of a hater. I also just love DC. DC is my preferred, like, to Marvel specifically. That's just because I've always loved Batman and Superman specifically. And even some of the other games, or not other games, but like other characters. Like, I really enjoyed the show Young Justice when I was younger. I was a huge fan of that show. And Green Lantern, the animated series, I really wish they'd done more than just one season of that, because I watched that all the time when I was younger too. So I'd love to see, I don't think I'm going to see any of that, but just I'd love to see some of the highlights of Batman's specific story and just meshing that into a coherent Lego game story. So it's going to be a little bit different. It's probably not going to have every single scene from every movie. It's not going to do any of that. I'm sure it's going to be its own Lego unique story, but it's going to have some of those highlights from the specific movie. So it'll probably meld it pretty well, especially since this game has been in development for, at this point, at least 3 years since the Skywalker Saga came out. So I'd love to see something like that here. What kind of gameplay will Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight have? Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will introduce a dynamic new Lego Batman combat system, delivering an authentic expression of Batman fighting style with fluid attack chains, over-the-top takedowns, and powerful gadgets. Batarangs can distract or stun enemies, and the Batclaw can reel them in, while other playable characters will have their own signature gear, including Jim Gordon's foam sprayer, Robin's line launcher, and Catwoman's whip. So, let's see. Is that different than what it was saying with the characters? That's the exact same thing that they said with the characters. I was like, I feel like I read this. Was I reading this the second time? Yeah, that is definitely, they just copy and pasted some of that. So, which all other players will have their, yep. Okay. Sorry about that. I was looking here. But that basically is, they already said that. It's very similar gameplay to Arkham. It feels like they kind of just, put Arkham, put a Lego skin on it, and this is the game. Which I'm sure there was more to do than that. Like, this is an actual world. They had to put collectibles in it. But, like, a lot of the mechanics are very similar to the Arkham games. I played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on stream, so I definitely know like all about this stuff. So I'd love to play those games again before getting into this, because that's kind of more of the game that you're playing. It's not necessarily just your traditional Lego game, and I think that's what they're going to go for going forward. It's just a better business model at this point, so I can see why they're going to go this way. You're probably going to see a lot of Lego fans, like me included, that, you know, I like the old form of Lego games. Like, not necessarily going all the way back to when they weren't talking. Like, my favorite Lego games were probably from the mid 2010s, like with Lego Batman 2 to maybe somewhere around like Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 or DC Supervillains or something like that, where I wasn't a huge fan of Incredibles. I wasn't a huge fan of the Lego Movie 2 game. I was a huge fan of the Skywalker Saga, which just came out 3 years ago now. It's crazy. It's been 3 years since that game came out, but I was a huge fan of that, and I put about 80 hours into that game to beat it, but I never ended up beating Incredibles or the Lego Movie game. So I'd love to have something in this game where it's more in the sense of the Skywalker Saga versus the other games. I never 100%ed the Arkham games either, so I'd love to, you know, have this still the fun Lego collectathon element that's a little bit different than just your typical Arkham game. So I'm curious how that is. Will vehicles be playable in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? Yes, they will. In a variety of vehicles, including a range of Batmobiles and Batcycles. So it says specifically Batmobiles and Batcycles. The question that I have is, will there be a Bat helicopter? And the reason I ask that, once again, we don't have any flying characters confirmed. I would love to have at least a flying vehicle, even with the Batcopter, to fly around, because those are so much fun to get around the world. You can travel so much faster, you can see so much more. I would love a flying vehicle if there's not a flying character. So even a DLC again. But I think that maybe they'll confirm that, but it doesn't say specifically in that statement that there's going to be a Bat helicopter for flying. Will Lego Batman have online co-op? I don't believe so. It does not. It has co-op gameplay, not online. That's your typical Lego game. That is very traditional and standard. Will an internet connection be? No, but it will be unlocked. Yeah, needed for game updates. Okay. Memberships, no. Microtransactions, no. Great. There's a special bat suit. I signed up for WB online, and I'm going to get that. And then you can still do that. Okay. So that is basically the FAQ here. And let's look at the website too, just to be sure. This is at legobatmangame.com, so it's got its own link. And then you could sign up for a WB account and get the Golden Age Batsuit. You can wishlist it now, and you could sign into the WB Games website. I have not done that. And then there's also the FAQ at the top. It says coming 2026. I believe this is just the trailer that it shows. Yeah, it just links you straight to the trailer, so we're not going to watch that again since we reacted to it. If you want to see that video, I'll link it up above in the iCard. Oh, that's really cool. So I don't know if that's straight from the trailer, but that is a really cool scene of Batman coming in on I don't know if that's Bane, but some big enemy. That big enemy just looks like one of those big villains from Arkham again. So I really do think this is just an Arkham clone, and I love those games, but it's just so much different than your typical like old Lego game, and it's hard to get used to, but I know that there's so many fans of the Arkham games that are just like, they are in love and they are just amazed with this game right now. So it is such a mixed bag for me right now. I'm just like a mix of emotions. There's some of the Batmobile. That is really cool. I love the Batmobile in this. That's so, I mean, I could watch that all day. It looks like that's going over I don't know which bridge that is, but one of the bridges in the game. And then, yeah, so it looks like that enemy there. They just have those big enemies, so very similar to Arkham. I'm not a huge fan of all the text. I hope you can like edit that so it doesn't show up. Like that was one of the red bricks in, I think it was Batman 3, where you can have the cartoonish text appear when you're beating characters. I don't really care for it, so I'd like to, not have that. The other big concern that I have with Batman specifically, they announced the voice actor for him. I'm not a huge fan of the voice actor. I really liked Troy Baker or Kevin Conroy, both of those voice actors. Kevin Conroy is dead, so he is not going to be resurrected for this game. But I would love to have seen like Troy Baker, because I really liked his work in Batman 2 and Batman 3, as well as in Lego Dimensions. He did a great job. I've been replaying through that game for a series that's coming up here. So I'd love to even have had Troy Baker for this. Maybe he wasn't available. Maybe they just wanted to go with something new, but he doesn't really sound like Batman. And maybe that's just because whatever gameplay sequence they showed is from the early game and he wasn't as developed. So maybe it'll be like they'll have Batman and his voice will expand as the game goes along. That would be kind of cool, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. This is a really cool screenshot because you can see Bruce Wayne doing some trials, going up that hill that was in the trailer when he was climbing, and then from that into typical Batman. That suit that's on the right, I am not sure if I know what that is. I'm sure that many people do. I don't think I've ever seen the actual Dark Knight trilogy, so I really need to study up on my Batman movies and just kind of figure out which ones are in this so I can watch all of those before this, because the only recent Batman movie I've seen is The Batman from 2022, and that was 3 years ago, and I remember some of the story, but it's been 3 years since I saw that, and I have seen a lot of movies since then. And then it says face your foes. You can see Batman and the Joker, that was from the trailer as well. Build your family. And from there, I believe that's Catwoman and Jim Gordon. Protect the City, Arkham Asylums, Ace Chemicals, Shreks. Okay, I don't even know where Shreks is. So I'm not very good on this, apparently. Wayne Tower, I know that one. I'm sure that the Batcave will be in this. It's not mentioned, but it's Batman. I'm sure that the Batcave is going to be in this. Explore iconic locations. That's cool. So you can see all of the explosions as Batman and Gordon are escaping. I think that they also did confirm that the Batgirl in this is going to be Barbara Gordon and not anyone else. I think the other one's like Cassandra Cain. So it's going to be Barbara Gordon. So that's cool. I don't know if they'll do a ship with like Nightwing and Barbara Gordon. I think that's the normal couple. At least that's from Young Justice. So that's what I remember was Barbara Gordon and Nightwing / Robin. Navigate, grapple, glide, or drive. Grapple, glide, drive. So from this scene specifically, like you see the Batmobile, Batbike. I don't see like a Batwing in this. Like, if there's a flying race, I'd love that, but it doesn't seem like from this specific here that they're going to have that. And then experience the city that shaped a legend. And then we have all of those. Wow, that's cool. There's a lot in that few seconds of gameplay right there. You can see all the buildings. You can see the Wayne Tower, I think that is. Batman literally diving through flames. I can't pause this, but I'd love to go through that. There's a lot in that too. And there's just a lot in the gameplay that people have been shown too. There was 30 minutes of gameplay I saw on IGN. I didn't watch all of it because I didn't want to really watch the whole thing, because that's a ton of gameplay for a game that was literally revealed. But the fact that they let IGN and whichever other press that were at the event get that much gameplay is amazing. Build a legacy, become the hero. And then you can see building up the combos on the left-hand side here. Some of the enemies. There's that guy that we were looking at earlier. Honestly, it kind of looks like Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles, with like a different head. I don't know why, but I'm not even sure who that character is. I'm not very good with that character, apparently. Maybe it's just a generic enemy, but I'm sure with that large of a body, I don't know, by himself, it looks like it could be a different character. Master your fighting style. Combine combos and stealth techniques to take on Gotham's villains. Feeling extra heroic? Rise to the challenge of an all-new game difficulty, Dark Knight mode. I did see that there were 3 different gameplay styles, so I will probably end up doing the normal gameplay style. I don't think I want to have limited lives, personally, but I'm sure that a lot of people will. And maybe if I am required to for like an achievement, I'll do it anyway. But at least the first gameplay gameplay like playthrough, I'll end up probably just playing as Batman on the normal mode, probably. Getting a pie in the face. So it looks like that might be one of the collectibles there on the left. So instead of gold bricks, it's going to be, I don't know if that W is for Wayne Tech. I think that might be. Hardly dented. Carly Insurance, that's funny. There's probably going to be a lot of references on those billboards. And you can see the bat signal. Soda Light. Okay. And then Batman. Yeah, that right there seems like something from Arkham on the right. Also seems like something out of Spider-Man, where you're doing the stealth kills. Seems right out of that game. So they must have had some developers from that team, or just maybe stole some ideas. Investigate clues. Take to the streets and rooftops to discover crimes, challenges, rewards, secrets, and landmarks. And then Batman setting up the bat signal. Batman. Gordon, I love that. Just not wanting to use the Batwing, or not Batwing, Batarang. That's a really good screenshot on the right side. Batman on the bat cycle behind the Gotham Burger billboard behind him, and it says on the run, so don't think that's about Batman, but still. Gear up. Wield cutting edge gadgets including batarangs in the Batclaw, or just cover your foes with foam. Right. And then it says coming 2026. Wish listing starts now. I've heard rumors that it's going to be in spring of 2026, so I'm really hoping that that's true. I'd love for it to be like, March or April. But if it ends up being like the summer or fall, obviously I'll wait for it, because I want my next Lego game. It's been 3 years since the Skywalker Saga. I really want another one. And then you can see at the bottom here, PS5, Series X, Steam, Epic Games. It's supposed to be on Switch 2 as well. I don't know why it's not showing there. It's probably just because you can wishlist it there. Maybe it's not on the Switch 2 website. All right. And then at the bottom, you got the duck and Batman. So kind of funny. But that is all of the things on the website and the FAQ. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below about both of these. I don't know how many follow-up videos I'll make on this, but it definitely seems like an amazing game that's coming up that LEGO's really been working hard on and keeping quiet about. So I'm really excited that they finally have revealed this, and we have a LEGO game to look forward to. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please let me know if there's any other videos about the LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight game that you'd like to see, because I'm happy to try and see what I could do, and if there's any thoughts or gameplay reactions that I could look at, I'd love to make some videos about that. But other than that, please check out some of my other videos. I got lots of other things for other games that are coming out, and also join the Discord if you haven't. Got a lot of discussion in there, and definitely want to have some more discussion about the Lego Batman game. So please check that out in the description below as well. But other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all for watching.